Welcome back, everybody. And here we have Thor with Sonic Realms, here to talk about everything that they do. And of course, uh, first question's always first. Also, if you'd like to go ahead and give a short little intro.
Oh, yeah. So I'm Thor. I'm the second half of Sonic Realms along with Paul Greenleaf. I'm sort of the backbone of it all. I run administration. I make sure things are running. I seek out opportunities. I do a lot of creative stuff, but not as much as Paul. Paul is the grand genius of it all and the designer, the innovator. That's about, you know, what both of us do.
And of course, I didn't already address it, but you know, I am in fact Rem. I just look a little bit different today. Don't worry too much about it. Just picked up a different name because of it. Uh, the first question, Thor, and it's the same for every interview. How did you first get into gaming? And of course, this means a little bit something different to you than it does most.
I think that gaming is such a broad question, and that's how I treated this question. So, I mean, it's even broader than gaming. So, I've loved engaging in my imagination since the days when books were my friends, and games, once they were presented to me, were just another chance to flex those imaginative forces from within. So, when I was in my late teens, um, well, throughout my teens, I was drawn to fantasy, I was drawn to the macabre, I was drawn to alternative media. So when I was introduced to D&D as my first real gaming experience, that's where I think my wings really developed. And then later, once video games became a lot bigger, a lot more work went into them, it became so apparent that that was another place to really find a lot of escape, a lot of imagination, a lot of appreciation for the art that's out there, the lushness of what we're creating. So it's all beautiful. I'm really into VR now.
No, no, that's absolutely. I got a headset right here below my desk too.
Yeah.
I'm in love with it. No, the story behind a lot of this is, I mean, especially whenever you're as far into D&D as you are, just
Uh-huh.
such a beautiful draw. Uh, Well, moving on from that, but also, of course, in the same vein, how did you first get into audio work?
That's an interesting one because actually it was through Paul, through Sonic
Mhm.
Realms. I would never have told you that I had any interest in audio work. On one end of it, as an actress, yes, but on the other end of it, computers and cutting and doing all of the fine tuning, adding in sound effects, figuring out exactly how long that pause should be. No, never. But working with him, feeling his passion and saying like, yeah, let's be a part of this in however we can. I think a lot of us at Sonic Realms found out we're into audio organization as well. So that's another place where I can put, I do have a bit of like nerdy passion for organization and I'm good at it. So it's like these are all very natural for me. So between that and the acting and the voice work, it's all just really fun and it happened very serendipitously.
Just kind of sparking that passion talking to Paul.
Yeah. He's good at sparking passion. Anyone who meets him at a con, it's so obvious that he has a passion for what he does, and that translates to what we do. And we all caught the passion, and we all have the passion.
And of course, I know that you're going to Gen Con. Is Paul going to be there?
Yeah,
Fantastic. All right.
I'm
All
pretty
right.
sure. I'm pretty sure.
Pretty okay. Okay. We
Only
won't
I said,
put anything in stone just yet.
yeah.
Well, and of course, this may be a little bit more of a question for Paul, but from your experience, uh, how did Sonic Realms come to be?
Wow, yeah. Paul does have obviously his own experience of how this happened. But because we been partners throughout the whole thing. We sort of came into it together and birthed it together, as it were. So we started with just the things that a couple talks about. We were heavily um, involved in discussing how can the world be better. We both wanted to help in a big way, and Paul was getting frustrated by the lack of, I want to say, heart and originality that he found in mainstream media. Once he pointed that out, I was like, okay, I can see that too. So, and we both felt great chagrin at the idea, and I'm sure we're all aware of it now, that those who did add their hearts and lifeblood, the creators, the animators, the people doing all of the groundwork, because of their passion, a little bit taken advantage of, and they were the least able to enjoy the fruits of their efforts. So this was something that had been, I want to say, marinating in our relationship in general. So when he I want to include more of his experience than I was gonna talk about. When he was working and he was listening to a lot of these audio actual plays, he was very inspired by the camaraderie of it, and he thought to himself, I wonder if this could be better, and he began experimenting with it. In the background of all that, um, Paul and I started thinking about improving them. And when we hooked up with a friend of ours who is currently a DM that we work with in Sonic Realms, we went out to dinner once, and I'll never forget this. We had a conversation, he and I, and Paul and his friend. And he's in a litany of stories, first person, beautifully remembered, beautifully spoken, beautifully acted out by him because he's a DM, but they're what his character went through. But in the experience we had speaking with him, there was no wall between him and his character. And this really solidified how we individualize with, vibrate with, I can't find the right word, but those are close.
Genuinely connect because because it's not just the character.
Exactly. And this goes throughout all aspects of gaming. There are so many people who find themselves in a character in a video game or even literature, to bring that up. But yeah, like it was so beautiful to share that moment and bringing in the actual plays and bringing in how we felt about the media industry. It sort of all coalesced into this idea um, that maybe we could bring about something better. So we thought maybe we can bring his and others' adventures to life, their imagined campaigns, their lush characters to life. In that way, we could build a supportive community that cares for the art that it produces. And in that way, inspire better media and better stories. And eventually, this is a huge tangent and goal, but inspire better ways of doing business. We hope.
No, whenever there's passion, there's also money. So
that's the thing, yeah.
Well, so going from these passions, what makes Sonic Realms different from other podcast actual plays? What about this passion makes it different?
Oh, well, we do take out a lot of what they leave in, and it's just a different experience. It's not, everybody's looking for a different way to connect with their media, and with the rules lawyering, the side conversations, slowing of the action or interrupted role play. A lot of actual plays are, what they're like, hanging out, like you're there to be with your friends, and that's commendable and laudable and beautiful. But for us, we wanted to see what these sessions could turn into as immersive experiences of their own. So we're a feature presentation, made to lose yourself in for a while.
Absolutely, look at refining it down just so other people, not just that group, can kind of get lost in it. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, what of course, other than actual plays, what type of content can be found on Sonic Realm?
Oh, we right now we've got a full ongoing Shadowrun campaign. Our D&D campaign episodical, which is finished, but still being turned into episodes, so still coming out. And the first episodes of various other TTRPG systems, as well as some board game exemplars like Forbidden Desert, which was fun to turn into a feature. So like we're really imagining and extrapolating on what we can apply ours to. Um, Soon, though, we hope to expand out to include even more systems and games, and then we hope to have a place for the community to contribute once we're big enough and put their own content on as well. We also have some lofty long-term goals.
Looking far ahead in the future. I love it.
Yeah.
What was the desert? What was that? I don't think I know anything about it.
Yeah, so Forbidden Desert is a board game. I really should have his name, the creator, but essentially it's rounds of trying to beat the sun, which eventually is going to come down in such a way as to really take your thirst, and you got to find the water, you got to find ship parts, and so it was such an interesting. Paul made an amazing score. So what we do with our podcast is besides taking out all of the rules lawyering, all of the side talking, all of the stuff that distracts from any of the role play, Paul puts in later a full cinematic score. And what I mean by that is the richest music that I have heard an individual come up with, and the sound effects of the slightest little rustle of clothing going through the tunnel, you know what I mean? And so you're so deep in the desert, you're so deep when, spoiler for Forbidden Desert, but when you find a tunnel that gets you underneath and into the cool area, you hear the reverberation, the echoes from the walls. You are there in the tunnel under the desert. You can hear the storm raging outside, but it's so remote that you feel safer. The things he does with ambiance and environment creates such an immersive, beautiful experience. I have to tell you, at cons, we've had people cry. And while playing it, honestly, I have cried.
No, I
So,
love that. Good audio work goes so far whenever it
yeah,
comes to just like genuine immersion. You can have all of the visuals in the world, but if you know you can throw in one Hanna-Barbera banana slip effect away from you completely discounting it. You know,
yeah.
and of course, like that is super exaggerated, but on the other end, it can make you choke up. It's good. I
Yeah, and that's a good point because something that he specifically believes, Paul, my co-creator, is that my co-founder, is that putting in a lot of imagery, a lot of stuff on the screen can sort of heavy hand what you're expected to imagine. So when you think about things like Call of Cthulhu and things set in sort of a madness realm, do we really have the visuals to make something creepy enough, subversive enough, again, macabre enough to really make someone shiver? Or do we want to put in these sounds and narrative imagery and the screams of the great actors and all of this stuff that makes you like you do shiver, and you're like in your mind you've got this amazing whatever the monster is, even if it's not the monster, whatever you're getting. So he's actually really firm on how beautiful it is to not put in too much for the audience.
No, no, uh, absolutely, because I you can't go too heavy-handed with it, or else it's just gonna it's gonna seem off. But
Yeah.
I think that that audio is just a beautiful way of building any sort of tension. You know, in games, it's right before you come across the boss, or
Yes.
you enter an area that you don't know. An enemy could be behind any corner. Recently, I've been going through and uh, playing a game, Baldur's Gate, where it 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 puts me in the right mood. No matter what you go into, action, you walk into, you know, you immediately know if somewhere is hostile. You don't need any visual indicators at all to know when you have walked into the wrong spot, and
Yeah.
just like shivers. Well, uh, Thor as an entity, Sonic Realms, or just in general, what are some of the other projects that you are working
So yeah, lately we're so happy to be partnered with Alternis to be helping with the creative in-house media that we've been dreaming up. We're opening up partnerships with game developers and indie companies in the gaming, TTRPG, and board game industries. And we look forward to expanding our library of content to include more offerings. Like one of them is our small little darling Vistara. It's a game with its own original card-based system from Idea Punk. Myself, I'm doing a lot of my own voice acting, which I'm really enjoying. And we are actually really excited to be presenting a seminar at Gen Con that we will be sort of outlining a lot of what we do to make these adventures into something a lot more special than they already are. So not only can we be, caught at Gen Con to be, discussed with, talked to, and, have fun with, but we're also going to be there presenting what we do and a little bit more in depth of how you could do it too.
on? Which absolutely. By the way, we do have a link for that, so if that can just be dropped in the chat, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, awesome.
So we can definitely see some more smiling faces out there over at Gen Con.
Yeah.
Just realized I was a little bit loud. Sorry about that, y'all. Um, other than that, is there anything else exciting coming down the pipeline that you can tell us about? Or maybe even things that you can't, but just kind of want to?
Oh, well, the things that we're excited about that we can't talk about, of course, like we'll be teasing on our socials, but yeah, we're really happy to be accessing our community, growing our community, and seeing what's out there for us as far as opportunities go.
No, absolutely. Also, as far as Sonic Realms goes, where I know that you already spoke about reaching out to your community and making a better connection there for a better flow back and forth. Do you see any other routes, forms of media that you guys would like to be getting into?
We would like to get more into physical spaces. We like the idea of partnering with game cafes and brew cafes that are more gaming centered and just kind of being there live to play a game, turning it into something later if we can, or just simply having fun there and getting more attention to everything about what we do. So
No, 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 absolutely. Well, we're only sitting at 30 minutes, so is there anything that you would, and of course, given that Paul was supposed to be here, that that you think that he would want to plug in, say anything like that, or
I know that we had been thinking about the recording process, and I can talk about that a little bit because it's something that he would be excited about. Besides, teaching the seminar, just a slight overview, a small peek, is that the
Little peek
conception.
behind the scenes.
Yeah, yeah, the conception is where it starts. This process, because all parties have to approach knowing that the play will be a bit different from the protocol of other campaigns. Example, one speaks in first person rather than telling the DM what their character would like to do. So it's not how would I climb that wall? It's I bravely climb the wall knowing that she is in peril. And so it's a very different thing to approach from the beginning, which makes it a lot of fun, but also a little bit challenging. Um, from there, the mic quality and ambient environment are important, as well as training oneself to be still while you're acting, which is a lot more difficult than you would think, especially since sometimes Paul will not interrupt you, but once you're done with your great delivery, say, you were running, do that again.
No, absolutely. But whenever you're acting, it is difficult to not, speak with your whole body. I've
Yeah,
definitely noticed that a lot with some people. Uh,
yeah.
how does that affect the audio side of it, though? Is it just because of the ambient noise?
Mm-hmm. So, for example, I do move around a lot naturally. If I was in a computer chair right now, you would hear the squeaking, and that would carry through to the recorded audio. That's how minute and fine the quality differentiation is for what we do, because we want to be able to not only take your voice out of what you just made, but if there is a mouse looking for cheese in the background in the narrative, and that softness needs to be heard, then we can't have your fan running. So it's all very, very controlled, very controlled.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. You should just start shipping out just soundproof foam boxes so that people can slip their mics up in there. Just a portable version.
Yes, yes, there have been so many engineering explorations trying to figure out the best way to get this done and still have a life. Truly a labor of love. In the beginning, it was, what was it, 10 hours of work per 1 minute of finished audio.
Oh, that would drive me crazy.
Yeah, it was insane, just crawling along, just crawling along. And we've made improvements. We've bought what do you call it? Programs that help, and we've gotten people on board that are also helping doing various roles. But at the beginning, Paul was really just 12 hours a day on that computer. Just that was his life.
Oh, poor guy. I don't for that is some serious dedication. I don't think I would be able to work
Yeah.
that long for even if I wept while listening back to it. I don't know if I could spend that 10 hours working on that minute of content.
Yeah, yeah. That's how much passion he has for the project, and that's how much we believed in the project, believe in the project.
No, 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 no. You're moving on to better things now. Well, would you like to get into a little bit of what you do for Rem Alternis?
Yeah, sure. So with REM, I am director of audio and marketing. So I'm working. We, I think, so we're working on audiobooks.
No, no, I'm completely impartial here. I'm just asking questions. I don't exist as anything else right now.
Yeah, yeah, we're working on audiobooks in the Catalyst universe, and we are just sort of like bringing that Sonic Realms attitude and quality and love of audio experience to the REM Alternus sphere. So Sonic Realms, what Sonic Realms does with REM is we work with the podcasts that are already set through REM. And we've got a lot of podcasts in the works that we're thinking about that a lot of the creators have sort of merged with us with, and we're discussing. So we're, yeah, we're working to make a lot of really interesting content that's already been put out a lot more interesting and a lot more engaging and hopefully more fun.
So absolutely, and this is the first time I'm actually hearing some of this, so I'm also learning at the moment. So, of course, you can't really talk about anyone in particular who you're working with on these new projects or anything like that. So, last question, just to wrap it up, where can we find you?
Oh, so yeah, it would be sonicrealms.net, or it might be sonicrealmspodcast.net. We recently moved things around, so definitely should, but we have that link right available. And
Should be
you can
dropping, should be
also,
dropping.
yeah, you can also search any of your podcatchers if you want to listen to our material, which you definitely do because it's so awesome. We can be found on, the usual Apple, Spotify, the Google Play, all of the big names that are out
The
there that I
Google.
just don't remember. The Google. Yes.
We were just talking about how old we felt before this, so you talking about the Facebook or the Google.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, sorry. What was that everywhere?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we have a presence on all the social media too as Sonic Realms. So if you're looking for us on Twitter, Sonic Realms, Facebook, Sonic Realms, Instagram, yeah. I don't think we're on the TikTok yet, but hey, who knows what we're getting our hands into?
And of course, you also have the Patreon.
Oh yes, of course, the Patreon, which is a huge part of what we do. So
No, absolutely. Well, we're getting close to the top. Well, we aren't quite as close as I thought, but it was lovely speaking with you. And thank you for all of your energy and everything that you do for the gaming community. And we
awesome,
will
yeah.
be and we will be right back.
Can I just ask, what does a summoning tea kettle look like?
Oh, a summoning tea kettle. It is made out of cast iron that has been painted ritually with symbols in blood, obviously, that are then coated
Obviously.
and shellacked over so that they don't flake off, that way it can last for centuries. And we use a nice clear coat though, so you can see them quite nice, quite clear. We mix in with the blood, we mix in the iridescent paint, so it gives us a nice little beautiful shimmer, especially as it heats up. And as you heat it up, that's where the magic happens, because that is when all of the symbols start to glow and get bright and beautiful. And as the tea kettle whistles, that is the summoning ritual complete.
If you have an interest in using the summoning tea kettle, or taking part in any of the other worlds in our games, you don't have to have experience. Just join our Discord, and the GMs will work with you and help you find a game you enjoy. The link is in the chat.
Ready to level up your cosplay game? Check out the Geek Forge on Etsy. With a variety of props to give your photos that extra spark, you'll find just what you need. Hold magical fire in the palm of your hand, or take a potion to restore your mana. With a large variety of colors, you can choose your own magical flavor for your cosplay. Bring drama to your photo shoots with these vibrant props and more, all available at the Geek Forge. Are you ready to level up your cosplay?
variety 2 times.
You get to play with us now, which is so exciting. So with channel points, bits, and subscribes, you can give rewards to the player of your choice. So how to do that is, no, not Bob. Channel points, I believe it is 500 points, gets you NERPs, which is +3 to any dice roll to the player of your choice. For 1,000 channel points, you can do a point of edge to any player. And for 2,500 channel points, you can do 4 edge to the player of your choice. Now for bits, for 100 bits, that's $1, you can do the NERPs. For 200 bits, that's $2, you can do the point of edge. Or for 500 bits, that's $5, get 4 edge to give to the player of your choice. And finally, again, the subs, if you subscribe, you can give 4 edge to any player.
Can I just ask, what does a summoning tea kettle look like?
Oh, a summoning tea kettle. It is made out of cast iron that has been painted ritually with symbols in blood, obviously, that are then coated
Obviously.
and shellacked over so that they don't flake off, that way it can last for centuries. And we use a nice clear coat though, so you can see them quite nice, quite clear. We mix in with the blood, we mix in the iridescent paint, so it gives us a nice little beautiful shimmer, especially as it heats up. And as you heat it up, that's where the magic happens, because that is when all of the symbols start to glow and get bright and beautiful. And as the tea kettle whistles, that is the summoning ritual complete.
If you have an interest in using the summoning tea kettle, or taking part in any of the other worlds in our games, you don't have to have experience. Just join our Discord, and the GMs will work with you and help you find a game you enjoy. The link is in the chat.
Ready to level up your cosplay game? Check out the Geek Forge on Etsy. With a variety of props to give your photos that extra spark, you'll find just what you need. Hold magical fire in the palm of your hand, or take a potion to restore your mana. With a large variety of colors, you can choose your own magical flavor for your cosplay. Bring drama to your photo shoots with these vibrant props and more, all available at the Geek Forge. Are you ready to level up your cosplay?
Welcome, everyone, to the event you might have been waiting for. I hope you were actually, because like we put a lot of work into this. Well, I mean, I took 10 minutes before coming out here to put this together. Tonight's show is going to be amazing. Tonight's show, wage slaves and whimsy step into the zany adventure of our quirky characters, fast-paced world of capitalism with silliness and humor. Meet Stu the Studious, a nerd, wide-eyed student. What? Sidekick Penny the Penny Picture? Who is that? Max Moneybags and his loyal employee Tyler. What is... These are not the notes I just got finished writing. What is it? Fear not for the slumber snatchers, mysterious creatures, the trickster Christian, a sentient AI. Somebody took my notes. These are not my notes. I don't know what game this is for. All right, did you guys want to play this? No?
I think I saw that trivia.
Yeah, it's a cartoon. It's talking about a cartoon. A capitalistic cartoon. Gah, that's not what we're here for, though, is it?
Did somebody write fanfic about us?
Fanfic.
Oh no.
Wage slaves and whimsy. It's a cartoon. It's a cartoon about the corporate rat race. Oh, that's great, isn't it? Get those kids pre-programmed.
Gerber is wild. Sorry.
Whoa. What's that?
I said Gerber is wild nowadays.
Sounds more like a Johnson and Johnson situation.
Yeah, they just make an offshoot company to take care of it. We're in trouble? Quick, make a new company. That'll cover us. Well, we're back, and tonight the group is in midst of their run to steal cargo. They have a really good idea what they're doing. I have confidence in them. They've done a lot of legwork. And last we left off, they were inside the train. And to play a little catch up, somebody was fighting one of the autopilot drones. Another person was trying to control the mechanism to get the train on the rails. And there was a closed door that somebody else was about to pop open. And our goal was... Were you still piggybacking off a Steel Tiger? Like, did he put you down yet?
No, he put me down.
Yeah.
He had to go scout out the train. I understand.
No more free rides. You gotta grow up one day, son. You gotta grow up in this big wide world and get a real job.
Someone's getting a baby Bjorn for Christmas.
Then he never ever has to put me down.
You never have to put him down.
Just
Never
gotta
put you
it's
down.
gotta be
never
an
gonna
MLB
keep-
one that just auto wraps them all extra tight and snug.
And you can sit there with your. You still grab things with your deck and.
Unless it's you, everyone, please keep your decker in your pocket for safety.
But also tonight, later on, we are going to be having a drawing.
Yes, we are having a drawing. It is for a poster-sized rendition of the Sonic Realms movie, The Fruit of Life. You can enter into win by just typing #RemPC into the chat. That'll get you one entry, and you can get an additional entry for every 100 bits you donate. And if you subscribe right now, you get 7 entries. And the winner will be announced at the end of the episode, and you'll be reached out to via Twitch Whispers. And by the way, you guys can technically decide how cool we can be in this episode. For 100 bits, you can give one of us a nerf that gives us 3 extra dice to roll. And then for 300 bits, you can give a player 1 edge, and 500 bits gives a player 4 edge. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, they're probably going to need it. Maybe not. You know, I'll go gentle on them. Nah. Amongst the bustling city of Bay City, a mesmerizing dance unfolds before your eyes. Shimmering, agile, blue, silver, green aggro drones gracefully tend to lush gardens, their movements akin to a symphony of nature's harmony. Each drone weaves through the rows of fruit trees and vegetable plants, sprinkling life-giving water and nourishing the earth with tender care. Their small motors and engines giving a peaceful hum for all the vert gardens and agrodomes. Witness the magic of technology and nature entwined in a mesmerizing display that leaves you in awe. Yet not far away from the spectacle of life, the city's harsh reality unveils itself. The streets become a tapestry of grime, burnt-out cars, marooned in forgotten alleyways, and struggling homeless camps huddled against the unforgiving cityscape. The duality of life in Bay City echoes through these contrasting scenes. A city of promise and despair bound together by a thin thread of hope. With courage and cunning, the group has navigated through this dangerous dance of shadows and light. Light, the light on the rails that would boop, 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 and you guys are like, oh, I gotta jump. Fighting against security systems invading the watchful eyes of drones and cameras, they have found themselves in the belly of the yard. It was not going to say beast. That was going to be too cliche. Don't want to be cliche. They have found themselves in the belly of the yard. Trains dangling from the ceiling as well as being rested on the floor in this giant mechanism that allows them to move hither and fro, in and out of the yard, assembled, put together like an expert Lego builder. That's literally the best I could come up with. I didn't know what else to put, so, don't hate me.
I don't.
But welcome to tonight's game, where we find out if the players can steal a whole train. A whole train is pre-assembled. There's an engine which has Christian's character Convoy in it, and you have moved to the cab, and the description from beforehand was a comfortable chair, a panel with a variety of dials and instruments that kind of just give out a digital display, a simple one, but everything is in AR. All the information that you can see is in AR. The second car was a few boxes, tools, and one autopilot who was deactivated, and you guys pulled the power pack out of it. And then when you moved from there to the next car back, there was anthrodrones that came into this car and started to kind of try to take care of you guys. The first anthrodrone was taken down by Nova with her swingy sword blades. It was more about the stabbing and the cutting that pretty much did the most damage. But right now, Steel Tiger is locked into combat with one of these same drones as he is bashing him about with his shock limb. What was it called?
The Taser Knuckles.
Taser Knuckles.
Yeah.
Sounds like some cool name for a space pirate. Taser Knuckles.
All right.
No?
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Arg.
even call it
Floats your boat, my man.
that. Space Arg.
Boom.
So,
All right, am I swinging at him?
yeah, we're starting off the swing at him. So
Gotcha.
I just want to remind you that you've hit him twice, and both times you've done 4 stun of damage. But he has insulated armor, and so the 4 stun of damage has been reduced down to 1 both times.
Alrighty.
So, but you had locked him in combat. You had pushed him against the door frame. and Nova had pushed past you. So that's where everybody is in position because she said, oh, he looks like he's got this. I'm going to move past. I cleared the initiatives, but you had initiative over the drone, so I'll let you make the first action. The drone's defense value is a 9.
My Sharklim attack rating is a 5.
So it has an edge in this moment as far as it goes for its higher defense. Do you have anything else that might help trump you in this situation? Because, again, it has insulated armor. It is about the same size of you and probably a little lighter than you.
I mean, I could just shotgun him. That works.
Well, I mean, it's your action, your call. We're looking for edges right now.
No, I don't have any other edges in hand-to-hand combat.
Okay.
So I rolled a 6. You get an edge.
Man, how did I get to the top up there? Let's go all the way back down. Yes, you did. You got a 6. And it's going to evade. So one of the things I realized I feel is very important for non-sentient life, robots, stuff like that, unless it's like truly a sentient AI. For the purpose of the game I'm trying to write here, none of them can roll. They can only buy successes because they're dealing with a set parameter of experience and programming. So it has 9 dice on its defense, which means it can only get 2 successes to defend against you. Set. One of the things is makes combat go a bit faster. I don't have to roll dice. I just know he's going to buy. So he buys 2. That leaves you with 4 plus 4. That's 8 stun. He knocks off 3 from his insulated armor. So he takes 5 to the 2 he's already had, which exceeds the 6 he can take. So this punch wasn't just electrocution. It was more of a force of your strength to finish him off. So you were in grapple in the doorway at this point in time. Describe the blow which takes out this anthrodrone.
So I come in and I hit him I hit him where his liver should be, and then brings his head low, and then I hit him with an uppercut and sends his head up like Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Arcole, as you're looking into the next room, this round, slightly metal and plastic head soars across the train car, smacks into the wall next to you.
Is that what Steel Tiger was fighting? No, Steel Tiger was right beside me. It's just...
Oh, then because Steel Tiger moved across a train car to fight a robot, basically.
Fair.
So you're telling me that you moved across to fight the robot with him? Oh, that's why. Because otherwise you're across the car. I mean, you can be wherever you want to be. I'm not going to stop you.
It lands beside me. Is it out of commission at this point?
Well, it's the head, the
just
sensor
the
unit
head.
of the drone.
I'd like to see if it's still active, if it's outputting any sort of emergency signal or anything like that.
If it is, it's doing so with a hidden icon, so you'd have to do a matrix search.
I will do that then.
Matrix perception. I'm sorry, matrix search.
No, okay.
5th edition words. From your knowledge, yeah, it should have some sort of like temporary battery in the actual head, and so it should be either broadcasting or not.
Okay, well then I'd like to bring that to somebody's attention that is stronger than I am, uh, I'd like to grab the head and bring it over to Steel Tiger and request that he rips out this battery.
Uh, don't all right. I mean, don't you have nails? He's gonna like
You know, I'm more on the software side. You know, it would just sit better. Yeah.
How are you going to remove this battery, Steel Tiger?
uh do you know where the battery typically resides in this model?
Yeah, just bring it over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
I figured that that's probably fairly, yeah. If I already know this model enough to know that it could be, you know, using a hidden icon and everything, then I just point out the where the battery is to Steel Tiger.
Sure. Whatever skill you want to use, whoever's going to attempt to defuse this device that's sending out warning messages, you guys get to pick the skill sets. Strength, go, cool, punch it. Guns, use your gun. Roll guns. You're going to shoot it. Whatever skill set you guys want to use. I'm impartial. I don't think you can seduce it though. I'm pretty sure that's going to fail.
Bring it. Okay, yeah. I'll punch it.
All right. Close combat, unarmed combat, or whatever it is.
Yeah, that works for me.
Whatever you want to use, man. Because you've got metal fists.
Yeah. Oop. 4 hits.
4 hits, and how much punch damage do you do? It's what? Strength divided by 2?
If so, then it would be 3. My strength is 6.
3 plus 4 is 7. All right, yeah, you crush it.
Boom.
Because it only is a structure of 4 that puts 3 more points of damage onto it, popping that sucker open and allowing you to rip out the battery. Nova, you've moved to the back of the train.
My scorpion pose, like.
Nova, you've moved to the back of the train toward that sealed door. You are 2 car lengths away from Steel Tiger and Arcole, and 4 car lengths away from Convoy, just to kind of give you a gauge of the distance. This is the 6th car in the line, and when you guys were in the actual bay, does anybody remember how many cars you saw attached to the train?
I'll do a memory test.
Okay, go for it. We're going to be looking for at least 3 hits on a memory test.
Dear God, I don't remember anything.
You don't know. You think this might be the last car, which could be good. It might not. The door is shut. There is a maglock requirement to get it open.
Hey, can I just stab this lock, or like what? I say to Arcole team.
I have a sequencer. Would a sequencer help in this situation?
I will see, like, using the AR, see if I can see where she is. I'm assuming there's sensors and cameras in each one, right? So I can see which car she's in.
Yeah. You guys are also on the same pan, so you have a very distinct knowledge of where each of you are based upon the comms that you've linked into your pan. Also, like, because of AR and a variety of other things that exist in this world, you can see through walls pretty much. So, yes, you do know where she's at.
If I can, I'll use the AR controls of the train and open that door.
All right. What dice roll do you want to use to do that?
I'm guessing
because you're not in control yet.
Oh, I'm not in control yet.
You're in control of the mechanism that's moving the train. You've given it a command, and it is moving the train to its location.
Well, then, once I get control of it, I will be able to help.
Okay, which is not now.
Okay.
So if you want to do some dice rolling, whatever dice rolls you want to do to kind of take control, Nova, he is not able to at this point in time. So, do you want to wait for him or take up Steel Tiger's initiative with the sequencer?
I'll hold my turn, and then whoever can get it open first.
All right, Steel Tiger.
Yeah, I would like to walk up. I don't know. I'm pretty sure the sequencer should work in this situation, right? And he's gonna try to like fiddle with it.
Sure.
With his boomer knowledge of how to use this thing.
So, what kind of sequencer are we talking about? Are we talking like a old school sequencer or a new school sequencer? Because there's like one for key locks that you would put into a key hole and then figure out what the shape of the key is, and then there's one that is more electronic based to defeat keypad Mac locks that you're talking about.
Yeah, the one for keypads and mag locks. Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Its rating adds dice. If you turn it on wirelessly, its rating adds dice to your attempt to bypass the lock.
Okay. Hey, Arco, we get to run wirelessly?
Yeah, it doesn't take Arcol any time. It is one of his minor actions to immediately add that to the pan after it gets turned on.
Okay. Well then, if so, then yeah, I'll turn it on wirelessly, and then.
Okay. All right. Well, this is to use this device is an engineering roll.
Ooh.
So you would do engineering plus intuition, but you've got 6 extra dice because of the sequencer. So whatever your intuition, you would default to your intuition if you don't have engineering, then add 6 back in.
How about electronics? Is that a viable skill?
I'll let it fly. Yeah. I'll increase the difficulty by 1.
Here, you use it then, and then I'll just pass it off to you.
Oh man.
So the downside to this is that electronics, the sequencer will work, but the sequencer is designed to put up to the keypad and then it does its thing. That's through engineering. So if you're going to use electronics, you have to get the panel open and then physically hook the sequencer up.
Okay, well here's a question for you, Max. If I want to boost my skill, can I do that?
Edge boost your skill?
Is that something that I read correctly? I can spend edge to boost a skill?
Yes, you can buy like automatic hits and stuff. Are you talking about the edge action?
Yeah, an edge boost.
How many points were you going to use?
Well, I've only got
I'm looking for that right now too.
In electronics. So, whatever's going to get me there. Probably like 3. At least 3 edge for it.
Not it. Chat, does chat know what the I see that you could use like 4 edge to reroll all failed dice.
Okay. Then
so, I mean, yeah.
That's what I'll do. You can spend 4 to pre-edge, right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, cool. Let's do that.
Add edge to your dice pool. Yeah, add your edge to the dice pool bonus to your roll and make 6s explode. So yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, cool. I like that.
And then we add the 6 from the rating of the item.
Again, you still have to physically get the panel open.
Oh.
Somebody does. I don't care if it's you.
Just physically open it, like literally hand on it, pull it
Whatever,
open.
some way to pop the wall open. You have to pop it open to use electronics.
All right.
I'll do it. Or, no, yeah, Steel Target, you go ahead and do it.
I'll just like, just put my hand through the drywall or whatever it is that's in here, just open it up.
It's fiber steel, which it has a light structural rating of 4. So you need to do at least 3. So do an unarmed. It's not called unarmed, is it? It's called close combat.
Close combat. Ooh. Oh. Yeah. I'll use. I too will use edge. Two free edge.
2 is enough because your strength was.
Oh yeah.
3. No, actually, no. That's only like so you'll stab into it. Yeah, you need more damage.
Do you need one more to make it? You could spend 2 edge to turn that 4 into a 5.
Look at that.
Game
makes the dream work.
Yes, if he gets one more success, if he spends 1 edge and turns that 4 into a 5, then yeah, he will have succeeded in punching a hole in the wall so you can use electronics. But I need you guys to like do descriptions.
Okay. So then he just kind of like grits his teeth and just kind of like and then just peels it open like a tuna can.
Amazing. Once he gets that open, then I'm going to go ahead and hook this up.
All right.
Okay, and so I've got my edge set to go, so it should explode automatically. I'm adding 6 die to the modifier.
Wow, that's nice. I was looking for a 4. I increased it to 5 because you're using electronics. Actually, I'm sorry. I was looking for a 3. I increased it to 4 because of the electronics. So success.
Amazing. So
Arcole, what are you doing while the? Okay, go ahead.
So like while she's setting it up, she's just like, professional and recreational lockpicking also has a long history. King Louis the 16th, I believe, of France, was a keen designer, picker, and manipulator of locks, and physicist Richard Feynman picked locks for fun in the 1940s while employed on the Manhattan Project. Just a little fun fact. And then
all while you're unlocking the door.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
How long you been frozen, Nova?
What, you guys don't have Jeopardy? You guys, nothing? No?
Do we?
No, you don't. The Tridios do have game shows, but they're pretty much focused toward like when doing a spreadsheet, what's the best way to analyze the overhead values of these 5 companies?
Wait, you guys don't have trivia, like Jeopardy trivia anymore? Like the show's done?
Yeah, it's been gone for decades.
You guys are missing out.
Sure, you got to tell us all about this Jeopardy.
Arcole, while they are bantering, which by the way I love, what are you doing?
I am screen sharing because I'm also watching it for the first time. The in 2x speed, the most recent Jeopardy episode. Just like broadcasting that a little bit. But also, I would like to put in place some form of matrix defense on those 2 who are going to towards the back of the train.
It's already on them. They're in your pan.
Okay, and
your defense is their defense. So, moot point. Cool. You're still watching the video. That's like a freebie action. Something else. Like you're fast, man.
I'd like to start building a data bomb.
Ooh. Sweet. All right.
Myself and Gross.
Gross is busy keeping the security system.
No, absolutely.
Actively looking for other things. You can pull him back, but that just means security is immediately going to recognize things like their cameras are looping and that the train is moving and stuff like that.
No. Gross looks back and just says, I'm a little bit busy. You can do this one on your own.
All right. Do you remember how to do a data bomb build?
Let me see. I know it is.
Probably look it up.
Yes.
All right. Why don't you look that up while we check on that dice roll from Convoy to take over the train?
Who? I'm guessing that is engineering.
It's.
Or do I gotta crack in first?
Nope, you are right. That's a different skill. Cracking.
Cracking?
Crack-a-lackin'.
Oof. All right. I will use 2 edge to turn. Let me see here. Is it 2 edge to switch it to a 4 to a 5?
No, it's
Yeah, it's 2.
2.
2. I'll use 4 edge to turn 2 of those 4s. So I have 3 hits.
With 4 edge, you could just re-roll all the failed dice.
Oh, I guess I could just do that. That makes more sense.
I mean, it would give you a chance at 5 more instead of 2.
It'd be nicer.
Shot.
Maybe.
I'll do that. If it'll let me.
Hit the go button on that.
There we go.
Just 1
Oof.
extra.
Yep.
Trying to remember the resistance was. All right, so the answer is no for you to take control over the train. As you begin manipulating it, you see that there is a login, a security information, and something to do with like a SIN number and corporate thingies. Do you think that like a corporate SIN right about now, it seems to be, what would be needed to bypass this easier?
Easiest way would to make it think it's getting an order from headquarters.
Headquarters or somebody who's a company
Right.
person. Do you remember last game session, Eddie?
Could I? A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, somebody here has 2 things that might fit the bill.
That's right. I will yell at Steel Tiger. It's like, get up here!
It's not Steel Tiger. Make a memory test. I'll save you from this mistake.
I thought it was.
Nope.
I thought they each got one. Oh my god.
Nope. Oh, that's right. Yeah, he is. You are correct. He is carrying one. That's right. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought they both had one.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, the
All right.
dealing?
So you
The problem is that I didn't write the names down for when I had the names
So
of the characters.
You stab into the wall, pull your hand out as she starts doing, and then you hear our Cole come over the comm telling you to come to the front of the train. As the train's shifting about.
Steel Tiger, get your butt up to the front. I need that SIN.
Okay. You have things from here, Nova?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, I'll be right back. And you start
Right.
taking down towards convoy.
I set that hacking the door with electronics at a total of 4 rounds or 12 seconds, just to let you know it was not instantaneous. So if you got like, I heal 5 hit points around stuff, then that's the time to use it. Cole, how goes the bomb? Are you staying in the real world to do it? Are you popping into AR, VR,
Popping into
deep
AR.
submersion?
Sorry, I am still just going through it. But looking into AR at the moment, just
Mm-hmm.
let me see. See, this is why physical books are so much better than digital ones.
Yeah, how so?
Control Find is somehow loading results right now.
Okay, so it's on page 183, and it says that you make an electronics plus logic roll versus the device rating times 2. To set a data bomb in a file, which is theoretically what the system is doing, but I'm totally cool with you presetting the bomb because like it makes more sense to like have this thing in your pocket. You have to pre-gauge the device rating that you're going to want to put it on. And of course, device ratings go from 1 up to 12. 12 would be a device like a host or a high-tech vehicle or a plane, train, and stuff like that. So you kind of want to gauge what you can hit with this data bomb. So pick a device rating, 1 through 12.
for the sake of the train that, and I do know a couple of the security team as well.
Mm-hmm.
9.
Sure. All right, 9 it is. So I roll 18 dice against you, and you roll your electronics plus logic, and your objective is to get at least 1 success. When it goes off, it's going to do its rating times 4 in matrix damage that's resisted by willpower of icons and so on and so forth. But for the most part, it's a big bada boom. Kind of want to roll, but I also kind of want to just buy. Let's say 4 successes, wouldn't that be? Because rolling is gonna. Yeah, I don't have the dice roller set up for that.
And would my specialization in computers help me specifically in this?
Yes, because you're writing a program. Excellent. You beat the 4 successes that I laid out. You got 2 extra successes. So you're right now constructing a data bomb while hanging out behind Nova. As you slide into the AR, begin gathering the necessary codes. You probably carry quite a number of them on you already, and you just begin slapping them in the procedural order. You notice beyond the door, as she is getting finished with her story about people who like to pick locks, 2 matrix icons are approaching the door from the other side. Two more icons turn on as they are guns. One of the icons switch ammo from dum-dum rounds to stick and shock. And the other one stays on dum-dum rounds. Both the icons that walked up, drones.
While I'm creating this data bomb, I'm just locked into creating this data bomb now that I've begun, right?
What do you mean locked in?
Like, it's nothing that I can pause and come back to.
There's a thing called fade. So what will happen is if you don't finish it, it'll just start to dissipate after a little while. That's it.
Okay. Well, then I am going to halt that process and attempt to run a spoof command on the icon with electroshock. On the
Sure.
weapon icon with the electroshock.
Sure, what do you want it to do?
Effectively just not register that the robot that's holding it as its owner, or as the one that can shoot it.
Yeah, sure. Yep. All right. The drone, because they're called drones in this game, has a pilot of 2 and a firewall of 4, so that's 6. Gonna buy, so you need at least 2 successes. You need to do a cracking plus logic. And you need 3 hits. 11! Yeah, you not only convinced this gun that this is not the owner of the gun, but you've convinced it that it is actually a puppy and it wants to go play in fields of flowers. Like right now, it is rewatching some sitcoms from the 70s, 2070s, not the 1970s.
No, absolutely.
Absolutely. This thing is so happy right now. It is not going to listen. 11 hits. Anything else you want to do at this point in time?
Nothing I can think of. Go back to creating the data bomb.
Right. Okay. All right. Nova.
Yep. So I finished my story and then I go to ready my guns because we've been encountering things with every train car. So ready my guns and then I kind of hide around the edge.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to.
And Arcole, what do you do while she's doing this? Because you're only an AR, you can still see her readying her gun, putting her back up against the wall, away from the doorway that you're standing in front of.
Immediately hiding back behind her, finding
Okay,
some
so
more
you
cover
move
back in there.
farther
Yes.
past her along the same wall.
Hey,
Yeah.
Arkle, any idea how many there are?
There are two soldiers, but one of them are not planning on shooting anytime soon. That gun is in heaven.
Okay, that's great. Let's open these doors.
All
Oh,
right.
behind the.
That's good.
You push the button, the door slides open, and immediately one of the drones begins spraying through the door. Since he's firing electrical dum-dum rounds, they begin flying out and thudding into the crates in the room. They make an incredible amount of noise. If you've never heard a rubber round slam into something made of metal and bounce around a room, it's kind of interesting. It's not like a regular bullet. It's like really hyperactive tennis balls. And it sounds kind of crazy at the same time you got the gunfire going off. Well, this drone is set for full auto. He's on rocket roll as that door swings open, while the other drone tries to do full auto and then enters into a level of negotiation with his gun. What the hell is wrong with it? It's not going good for the other drone. All right. Let's do a quick initiative between those people in the back. Cole, you're hidden. Nova, you're hidden. So you guys can take advantage of cover and stuff like that. Steel Tiger, you said you took off to the front. And Convoy's up there as well. So you guys will hear the sound of the drone firing the rubber bullets. Let me go ahead and move this guy out here. Here's the autopilot. Look how badass this autopilot is.
Wow.
He looks like a weird skeleton. He's your friendly looking.
Your idea of friendly and my idea of friendly are
They're the same, right? They're totally the same.
So this thing is called an autopilot?
Yep. They are backup pilots for the train if something happens. They are also security on the train.
Hey, Arkle. Want to hear a fun fact?
I'm dying to know.
You know, an autopilot system was sometimes colloquially called George. That was in the late 1900s. The etymology of the nickname is unclear. Some claim it is reference to inventor George de Beeson, who patented an autopilot in the 1930s, while others claim that the Royal Air Force pilots coined the term during the Second World War to symbolize that their aircraft technically belonged to King George VI. And then I like to peep over and then shoot at the autopilot.
Awesome. Some reason I'm not able to add the autopilot to the turn tracker, but he's got a whopping 18, which means he goes before Arkole, but after you. So,
amazing.
Nova, you you give out the trivia fact. All right. His defense rating, just like the one beforehand, is a 9. But I'm going to give a -2 because he is completely unaware that you're around the corner. They have no AR aspect.
Okay. Then I'm dual wielding, so I'm going to take both of my major actions and shoot twice.
Do it. If you're dual wielding, you know you cannot use edge for your offhand.
So I am ambidextrous, and then I have enough to make them separate.
Oh damn! You're doing the full on. What one was that called? Anticipation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're doing an anticipation edge action. Very awesome. I'll put another mark down here on the list. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, it was in our chat, but to the audience, tonight we're doing where I'm pushing myself and the players to use as many edge boosts and edge actions as possible. Every time a player uses, the first time a player uses an edge boost or action, I'm awarding the entire group a karma. And so far, Nova has got the entire group 2 karma, and Convoy has got the entire group 1 karma.
Also, I think I need to re-roll these because I accidentally had edge turned on. So they
Uh-oh.
were exploding the whole time.
Oh, and
So
Steel Tiger has done a boost as well when he punched his hand into the wall. So the only
Yeah.
person lacking Cole.
Okay, so disregard these two that I've rolled. They don't mean anything. Those were bad because I definitely do not have 31 dice in shooting. So
Noted.
all right, this is more sensible and realistic. Okay. And then I get edge for my mastery and agility for using these guns, so I'm going to spend 4 edge to reroll that first roll. Or reroll my fails from the first roll, so that's 15 dice.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So the first one will be 6 hits, and the second one is 8 hits.
Right. I'm going to, because it has an evasion program, and again, I'm still sticking to the whole non-sentient buys. They have a total evasion of whatever this is. 10. So 10 divided by 4 is 2 successes. So that's all it can buy is 2. It knocks your 6 down to a 4. So what's your total damage?
Damage is going to be 5p.
5p?
Yeah.
And it has a body of 6, so it buys another 1 damage, taking 4 damage to itself. It's still standing. It can take that. None of this is electrical, right?
Correct. It's just
All right.
regular.
Just regular. Okay, so it's taken 4 in total. And your offhand attack.
And then the other one, it's 8 hits.
Knock off 2, so that's 6. Total damage of
5p.
5p again. So knock off 1, that's 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. That bypasses his entire amount of health, so it's gone. You want to give a quick descriptive how you waylay the poor Autobot?
I managed to just bop him in a weak point. Right there in his little nipply eye holes on his chest.
Nipply eye holes.
Yeah.
That's like a weak spot right there. It's
I
not
don't
even
know.
armored.
I don't even know if the viewers can see it, but he's got like a skull face, but then like there are these like holes on his chest.
In his chest, right? Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like, what is that for? Why are you covered only in? Is it supposed to be a skull in the center of your chest too?
They were like, we can't afford to cover 100% of this autopilot's body, so make it look cool as we patch it.
Right? Okay. Boo boo. All right, so one of the 2 drones is down and out. The other drone doesn't have its gun working. It cannot pick up the other drone's gun and utilize it. So knowing that the problem is bad, it will make critical decision to, because it doesn't have unarmed combat of anything like that. It's just got the ability to use guns, so it can't shoot or throw, and it can't undo the gun. So its natural response is to call IT. There we go. That's its action for this round. Call IT to tell IT my gun has stopped working. Now it does have maneuver, so it knows it needs to pull back because gunfire is going off and get behind cover. So that's what it's going to do. It's going to pull back, get behind cover, and call IT. 13, Arcole, your turn. The drone is making an outgoing call.
Jamming the signals.
Jamming. Strawberry or grape? Strawberry or grape?
Yeah.
You know, I'm a really big preserves guy, but strawberry.
Got it. Eight hits. Looking at the drone's information, you're successful at blocking its comm, which has a device rating of 4. Even if I doubled it and somehow rolled perfect, you still got it. So it's done. It's not communicating out at this point in time. So it knows it can't contact IT about the gun. It's not able to reach a call out at this point in time. So it's got to make a decision what to do next. But it's definitely in a tight situation. All right, back to the top of the initiative. Nova.
All right. How many more Oracle?
In this room, that one is the last one.
That's it? Okay, I'm going in.
All right, now, because you're not an AR, you can't see where the icon is, but Arco, you can see that the drone has moved back and positioned itself behind cover. So,
I say, okay, I'm going in, and if I die, it's your fault, and then I go in.
all right.
Arcole would like to take a moment to kind of reach inside Nova's head and see if there's something going wrong with all this trivia, if at all possible. Is someone like flooding like her old device with old trivia knowledge or something?
Since she's part of your pan, it's not a problem to pop in and check to see what programs are running. The core basic program that is running through her current comm, that's also being utilized to support her cybernetics and stuff like that, is pretty basic. It's docile. It's nothing really truly filled with tremendous amounts of data. And I just kind of like moseying around and trying to interact with it. You're not able to, how would I describe it? Read a lot. You can read it, but it's kind of like if you and I were standing next to a Sumerian from like 1300 BC, and the Sumerian handed us a clay tablet, we'd be like, "Oh yeah, those are words. Those are words right there." And the Sumerian would be like, "Yeah, can you read it?" And we'd be, "No, man, I got no clue." That's kind of what's going on here. You're looking at archaic code that makes zero sense to you. Your programming, which normally interacts with this code and does stuff, can't seem to interact with it in the way that you're used to.
You know,
I love how Max just came in.
you could just
How
ask a lady how she knows stuff. I mean, invading her privacy.
Do you think that Arcole is socially adept whatsoever? To the point where just like, oh, that's cool. Do you just know all this stuff? Also, Max's description was so much more hurtful to Nova than anything that Arcole has ever said.
that was so funny. I'm like, all right, so like, oh, doesn't have a lot of data in it. Nothing's really going on in this mug.
Like, how do you
Guess
know
what?
cavemen,
It's
right?
all flush brain, baby. It's meat knowledge. That's years of consuming Tritio and magazines, like the good old fashioned way. No downloads.
Might have to take these guys to a library and show them what a book looks like.
They wouldn't figure it out.
We would not.
What are these squares? They open up.
Wait, what?
All right. Need to do dice roll. So when you come charging into the room, the drone has a chance to be surprised. So I'm going to roll for this because the program has to try to react. Advanced dice rollers and the stuff. And I'm just going to tell it to do the number of d6s. 1, 2. No, it had to beat 3 successes to not be surprised. So as you come charging in, it is got its gun. It's still negotiating with its gun. It stops everything it's doing, causing its defense value to drop by another 2. So it's gone from a 9 down to a 5.
Oh, is it my turn to do something?
Yeah, you're charging it.
Okay. I tell it happy birthday and then pow pow.
All right, take it out.
Well, we'll see. I don't know. These rolls. Roll 20, giveth and taketh away. There's the first one, and then here's the second one. 5 and 7. And then it's 5p damage.
5 and 7. All right, it buys 2 to try to. It buys 2 but gets a +1 because it's behind a crate. So it's like diving behind the crate. So it gets 3. So the first one gets 2 hits. The second one gets 4 hits. Your damage is 5p, so that's 7p. And then the body will knock off 2. No, the body will knock off 1. So that's 6, almost dead, and the next one's definitely going to finish. Yeah, you finish it off. Even though it's trying to dive behind the crate, it doesn't matter. Are you firing stick and shock?
Oh no, these are regulars.
These are your regular bullets.
Yeah, these are the ones. No, these are not the old ones, but these are the ones from Steel Tiger that we had to
Decase.
decase.
Got it. All right. So I assume that this is by assumption that the rigger and the decker are currently making sure to watch the code blue to make sure that all that extra gunfire and whatnot isn't bringing up your issues. So if you guys want to check the local bandwidth and see if the cops are paying attention to the fact there's gunfire going off in an area, you can do that on your turn. That's a minor action. So, Nova, you obliterate this drone, and you are in a room filled with crates. A variety of crates. All of them seem to have the same basic design, some sort of fiber and steel and plastic combination. Tags on them saying what's in them and stuff like that. None of them have any wood. There's no wood. It's just all plastic, fiber, and metal. There is another door leading to another car, but you notice this door is smaller than the ones you've dealt with, and it says employees only on it.
Hey, Arkle, what do you think's behind here? And I tap on the sign.
He does a matrix perception. Got a 3.
It's a little waiting room or a little staff room where there's like coffee machine and a refrigerator and a little chair.
And what kind of security systems are in place to make sure that only employees get in?
Access card, that's it. An access card like Maglock, which you've already faked one, so.
Do you tell me it's a coffee break room?
Yes.
Have you seen any flushies so far?
Not since we've been here.
And not on this train. You saw some in the yard moving around.
Think there's a flushie back here?
Well, it's 5 after 9, and we just lost Steel Tiger.
Yeah.
How about we take a commercial break?
Sounds fantastic. See you all in a few.
Sounds great.
Awkward.
Can I just ask, what does a summoning tea kettle look like?
Oh, a summoning tea kettle. It is made out of cast iron that has been painted ritually with symbols in blood, obviously, that are then coated
Obviously.
and shellacked over so that they don't flake off, that way it can last for centuries. And we use a nice clear coat though, so you can see them quite nice, quite clear. We mix in with the blood, we mix in the iridescent paint so it gives us a nice little beautiful shimmer, especially as it heats up. And as you heat it up, that's where the magic happens, because that is when all of the symbols start to glow and get bright and beautiful. And as the tea kettle whistles, that is the summoning ritual complete.
If you have an interest in using the summoning tea kettle, or taking part in any of the other worlds in our games, you don't have to have experience. Just join our Discord, and the GMs will work with you and help you find a game you enjoy. The link is in the chat.
Ready to level up your cosplay game? Check out the Geek Forge on Etsy. With a variety of props to give your photos that extra spark, you'll find just what you need. Hold magical fire in the palm of your hand, or take a potion to restore your mana. With a large variety of colors, you can choose your own magical flavor for your cosplay. Bring drama to your photo shoots with these vibrant props and more, all available at the Geek Forge. Are you ready to level up your cosplay?
Let's do the Jeopardy song. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Perfect rendition.
Thank you. Thank you. Steel Tiger hands you the makeshift sin of the spider. Now it's basically a comm unit with a couple of dongles jabbed into it, some wires running all over the place, but it does what it's supposed to do: pretend to be someone who's not here.
Great. I immediately I grab it, use it, get it set up, and see if I can get control of this train.
You gain 6 extra dice. Roll again.
+6. Goodness.
It's gracious.
I am not rolling well this evening.
All right. That's a failure.
I only have 1 edge at the moment because I used it all for my last roll.
So you could use it to reroll 1 dice.
Yeah.
And your edge actions are... there's 1 edge action called Sudden Insight. What does that one do? Let's see.
That's if I'm not skilled, it takes away the penalty, but I do have levels in cracking.
Oh, okay. Then you could probably tumble around with that 1 edge.
No, I'm okay. I will just curse and ask Arkul if he's busy.
You hear gunfire in the back of the gunfire. Yeah.
Drac, y'all, can we keep the noise down? I'm trying to concentrate.
Sorry.
So as you've brought the sin up and begin getting it to do what it's doing, the train is decided to tell you, no, you're not the right driver. Yeah, you've got clearance. No, I don't recognize you kind of scenario. And so whatever codes are listed in this sin that Arkol has put down, or whatever he's dug up as far as it goes for passcodes, which has got some memorized, it's not working. It's not working. Your normal routines aren't working. Being in the AR just doesn't give you enough dice. I don't know, and somebody can correct me. Getting into VR, does that give you more dice? Like in 5th edition, it did. So maybe there's something you can do to give yourself some bonuses, or try a different skill like Nova did trying to hack the door panel. But as you figure that out, I'm going to give an update on everything else. The train has moved forward. It has gotten to a position where it is now up to that device, that large cylinder device. And so as you're trying to take control of the train, take control of a variety of mechanisms, you're still controlling the big device outside. And the cylinders, those big round cylinders that clasp onto trains and then connect them together and move them and connect them onto the track in question, line up with the train that you're on. And so as you're doing everything, there's a lot of light coming in, daylight coming in at this point in time, because that massive opening that sits above the loading device. So now you can see people who are now pointing up from the ground at the train that you guys are on. Remember, you guys are about 3.5 meters above the ground, running on a specialized rail system. And so these humans, because they're not drones, are pointing up and they're saying stuff. And amongst the humans that are down there, the humans, because there's no orcs, no elves, no dwarves, just humans. One of them is wearing what looks to be like a cheesy looking security outfit. He's got a little radio, he's got a stun baton, he's got the little wandy thing that he reads and says, "Criminal, lay down on the ground," That's what he's got. He is a rent-a-cop. But he sees you guys, and he's definitely radioing this in.
Immediate jam signals.
Unfortunately, you have no visual on this. You're at the back of the train debating a coffee room. This is all Convoy, and unless Convoy shares it with you...
I mean, I will certainly share.
All right.
Be like, Arcole, we got someone on a walkie up here telling them we're made if we don't stop them.
All right.
Before
so
that,
while you guys are debating, go ahead.
I'm assuming that since I don't have line of sight, whenever I hear this come through, so need to.
I mean, I'll image link you. I'll poke out the window and
he can tag the target in question, so that then you can just kind of like look in that general direction through the AR at wherever he's at, see through walls and stuff, because he's giving you a direct line of sight. Otherwise, yes, you're right. Indirect line of sight, trying to figure out where he's at can be a little messy. So while you guys are having this in-depth conversation about the fact you haven't seen any meaties inside the train, that comes through your comm, and then Arcole is now busy. Nova, did you want to open this door?
Yeah.
Do you have an idea what skill set you're going to use to open it?
Brute strength.
All right. Why don't you get that dice roll out of the way, and I'll come back to you in a little bit.
Okay.
Arcole, how are you going to keep this guy from making a radio call? Because he's already on the comm going, hey guys, there's a train that's not supposed to be moving, which, since you're connected to the big machine, that big machine is also connected to their communications for the yard. And so you can hear him talking, because Grouse can also hear him talking. So this is like, yeah, one of the trains is moving. Yeah, I think this might be the one you guys saying giving you trouble and whatnot. Yeah. What's that? One of the spiders is on the train? What the hell is a spider? All right. What do you want to do, Convoy?
Arcole heard that? I did not hear that.
Both of y'all heard it. It's
heard
being
it.
broadcast into your comm.
All
You guys can hear the chatter.
All right. Y'all, there's another rigger on this train that's not me. Nova, can you maybe find that one? Squish him? And I'm going to try to Slim Jim this. I'm going to try to use my RCC and see if I can just like brute force it.
All right, let's do it.
That is 9 plus yeah. That's just a 9. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Do I still get 6 if I'm incoupling it with the sin?
The sin from a who?
From Steel Tiger gave me.
That actually makes you represent a who? Did Arcole not tell you who that person is?
Yeah, that is one of the spiders. I believe his name is also Chris, I think.
Yeah, that's which is funny.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you do get those 6 extra dice to brute force in.
All right, then let's do this.
Bam, 57. The best roll tonight.
4 successes.
4 successes are successful. You're able to get into the train. It is now, you're in. You can start editing things, making actions against it.
And then I would like to, if I can use minor action to check the radar as far as those gunshots go. I know we heard that, but I wonder if we can hear any other chatter beyond that.
Awesome. So you're going to use a minor action to check what's going on with Code Blue. Detection devices have heard a sound similar to gunshots, but it was not it didn't register. It's like, hey, it has to be above the number 10 for it to be considered a gunshot. These guys are coming in at a shit ton of 7s. So it's been made aware, but it's not a situation in which security forces would be dispatched from outside of the corporation to come check things out, i.e. the police.
Cool. That's me. I'm going to try to... Yeah, that's pretty much all I can do other than get the train going as soon as it can go.
All right. Train is lining up, heading toward the device is turned, locked into position, and starts heading toward it. And Arkol, you are jamming the dude?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get him jammed.
Okay. Success. He's like, hey, are you there? I can't hear anything. This thing's broken. I hate stuff. It breaks all the time. So he's disabled. Nova, you made 9 hits to rip the door open.
Yeah.
Okay, it's open. You find a little coffee room for somebody to sit. There's a refrigerator. And the lights automatically kind of click on dimly. The coffee pot has a slight gray color to it. It's mostly black glass and stuff like that, but it has a slight gray color to it. The countertop has a slight gray color to it. The door, when it whooshed, shot tiny little floaty things that kind of came out all over the place. Dust floats in your face. Everything is covered with a thin layer of dust in this room. It has not been accessed in some time. There might be food in the fridge.
You said there's...
Nah, scratch that up. Nah, scratch that. I'm an idiot. I'm holding the other spider in my hand. I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
Well,
sorry about that.
I'd like to... And there's nothing beyond this. Like, there's
no, it's the end of the
access to
train.
another train. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll just turn back around and start opening the crates in the previous room to make sure that's what we were looking for.
As you turn to step away, a creaky, pitter-patter noise starts to kind of kick up as the lighting effects that are starting to go on in this back room continue. The coffee pot begins kind of like making a little chimey sound. As you see these pre-automated devices are basically welcoming someone who would be coming in for a break during their shift of some type. And they're performing some sort of act of necromancy as they come back from the dead of being left alone for some time. So it sounds kind of creepy and weird while the electronics kick back on.
Thanks, I hate it.
Okay. You walk over to the first crate. They have labels on them. Do you want to look at the labels or just start opening?
Yeah, I'll look at the labels.
Cool. Are you looking for anything particular?
Anything that says it might be food stuff.
Sweet. All right, so you're looking for the food stuff first. Back to the front of the train. It's moving across a large stretch of the yard at this point in time across the ceiling, where technically if something bad happened, you guys fell, you're not going to fall on anything, just the ground itself. Not like if this train falls, you're dead. It's just, this is kind of like the opening where other things move around like cars and forklifts and stuff like that. And the chamber ahead of you finally comes and clicks into position so that as the train will move forward, it will grab a hold of you guys, spin you counterclockwise, because right now you're facing the blue line. No, black line. Yeah, blue line. You're facing the blue line, and you need to move over to the red line, which is 2 over, which is 2 counterclockwise turns on the first chamber and the second chamber. The train car begins moving forward, and the train receives a phone call. Now, the way that this works is that almost every device has a comm in it somewhere, and a lot of comms exist to where people could just communicate with a location or a person and stuff like that. A woman, probably in her 60s, mid-60s, she's dressed in a business attire, appears in AR in the cab of the train with you, Arkol, and she's looking around for a moment. Now, the devices in this room allow her to have an idea where you're at, because that's how the comms work. Not that she can see you physically, but it will project some sort of normal icon. Now, you guys all know that you have a persona that is attached to your comms, right? An image that shows up when somebody calls you or they look at your icon. And so that's what she can see because our Cole is attempting to protect you guys. And so she physically can't see you. And the cameras around are only going to project your faces that are covered with masks, right? You guys are wearing masks, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Our
So
Cole
you're
definitely
wearing-
said mask up last
You
episode.
did, and I
Yes.
remember it too. So the cameras in here, when they click on, because there are cameras everywhere and microphones, she's going to see your masked face, or our Cole can jump in and be like, Kung Fu, and replace that with an icon. But he has to actively try to take control of the situation. And right now he's jamming. So that's what he's doing. But if he stops that action, then yeah, he can do something else. This businesswoman appears, and she kind of looks around the room for a moment, the train, looking at you and Steel Tiger, and she goes, Hi, my name is Catherine, and I am one of the CEOs for BF. I am one of the what's the word for the people? Shareholders. I'm one of the shareholders of BFG, and I can see that you guys have decided to abscond with my train. I don't know you, you don't know me, and I definitely want to make sure that the cargo on that train gets to Emerald City. So could you do me a favor? And I know you don't know me, but could you stop what you're doing, turn yourselves in, because that cargo is important to me. Could you do that for me, please? All right, she is going to attempt a diplomacy with you, and I've already pre-rolled. And so she's gotten 2 successes on her diplomacy to convince you to just give up a life of crime.
Can I turn this off? I'm gonna see. I'm looking to see if I can just.
Can our Cole swap over his jam signals, which he has to keep active, and instead squelch this this radio? That's all.
Sure. You're talking about squelching the radio of the security guard.
Yes.
So that you don't have to then bother with it anymore. Set up yeah, you can do that.
And I'll tell since I still have control of that forklift. I'll see if I can send that AWOL to distract the guard.
So you get the forklift to attack the guard. Got it.
Yeah.
So it starts chasing him around.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's an easy programmable. Go pick this guy up. All right, so that takes a minor action away from you. And that's your squelch roll?
Yes.
6 successes. Okay, cool. So you no longer have to jam. And by the way, Nova, you two can hear her conversation because he is part of your pan. So are you gonna give yourself up? She got a 2 on diplomacy. Anybody?
No, I don't think we will, ma'am. And I guess is that like a willpower roll or like should I do con?
No, since it's diplomacy, the retort to that would be like negotiating the terms of agreements and stuff like that. Like there's no like diplomacy will make you do this.
That's an unskilled charisma.
No, there's no dice roll. It's
okay.
literally no dice roll. She's just trying to be nice. If she was conning you, exactly, you can just accept it. If she was conning you, then there would be dice rolls involved because she'd be trying to persuade you by lying and stuff. She's not trying to persuade you. She's asking nicely. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you go away, then yeah, sure. And that's a con.
Okay. Go ahead and make your con roll.
And then I am going to. So from using, okay, yeah. 3 hits, and then I managed to get edge back from from agility, I believe. Mastery of agility.
Ooh.
So I'm going to re-roll my fails.
Okay.
Oh, it's ugly, but it's a 3.
Yeah. I don't know if this is gonna work. Let's give it a shot. Bam. Wow.
Mm.
She's like, I will totally go away, but I need you to take this train to Emerald City. That's all I need you to do. Just I see what you're doing. It's meant to come here. Listen, I'll be honest. On this train is my granddaughter's birthday supplies, a gift for her, and a variety of other things for the party I'm going to be throwing. I understand that you want to take it because you're criminals and you need things, and the only way you know how to actually get them is by taking. But I'm asking you from the bottom of my heart, as a shareholder of BFG, a CEO of IDA, and a respected woman of Emerald City, please, just don't do this. And then I'll go away.
Ma'am, I said what I said, and I said yeah, so go away.
All right, she disappears.
I quietly messaged the guys, is she really gone?
Searching right now.
Yeah, no, the line's still on. She's still watching.
Okay, well, I quietly messaged y'all. If that's the case, if you share that with me.
Yeah, no, he told Arcole, you're able to know that the line is still live. So she's technically still watching. She just kind of like sat back and she's not engaging the situation. All right.
Nova, those are they're wrist blades, right? Or what are they called?
They're hand blades.
Hand blades. Can I know that I can give them some sort of like haptic AR.
Yes.
Can I just touch them in order to give them temporarily the ability to mess with AR?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'd like to do that and let Nova know.
I
Next.
consent.
Hmm?
I consent.
Thank you.
You may touch the hand blades.
All right. So you alter the program. Because this is a mechanism for the story purpose. Your damage converts over to doing matrix damage instead of actually doing it. Will still do real world damage, but you will be able to, like, if an icon appears, you can physically attack it to destroy it, and it's going to last for this scene.
Oh my god, incredible.
Right. Convoy, you wanted to do something. You wanted to block her call. You wanted to.
Oh, well, I don't know how active I have to be in getting this train to the correct track.
When it gets over to the mechanism, you're going to need to make an engineering roll to make it turn counterclockwise, to make it successful to move to the next one, which is one more engineering roll. You're looking for 3 on both of them. It's an engineering plus logic because you're in there telling it how to move and maneuvering the machine itself, because you're not doing what's scheduled, so you're making it up on the fly.
Right. Okay. Well, if I got time before that happens, then I would like to, yeah. Arcole told me she's still there, so if I could use a minor action to switch over one of my programs on my RCC, and I will try to crash and burn this icon.
Okay.
Wait, I don't, oh, well, no, I can't because it's only a vehicle. Never mind. No, I can't.
Well, question, guys. Is there a way for you guys to get old footage of the train correctly going to Emerald City and just feeding that to her and her thinking that that's what she's looking at?
Gross is still taking care of it all. So
Yeah, right now the loop is happening, so when the train leaves, she's not going to see anything.
Have we not left?
No.
Oh my god, I thought we were like
No.
fighting on the move. We haven't moved anywhere.
Now
We're just trying to get to the right
We're
track
still-
so that we can move.
Yeah.
turn
You
it.
guys ever go on a date to the movies and then you're watching one movie and thinking something's happening, but then the date has completely seen a different movie from what you've seen? This is what's happening right now.
Yeah. So are you saying? So you come to the front of the train. You come to the front of the train with your blades. It's like I'm here to take care. We're still in this place. I thought we were on the tracks by now.
We have not moved. Okay, so then I just realizing the situation now, I just messaged the guys. Let's just trick her.
All right, Emerald City then.
All right. The train slides up. You have you said you wanted to take if you have the action. You do. This is before the train connects. You can try to shut it down, but you realize that this comm is not part of the train's actual working mechanisms. It's part of the actual like inner layers of the train. So it would be an Arcole thing, but he's currently busy doing other stuff. But when the train connects to the device, he will be able to. But as the train comes rolling up onto the device and locks in, which you're still in control of, somebody reboots it and it shuts down. The entire spindle goes dead. And you guys are sitting there. The train's still active, but you can see the mechanisms and the machines, which were just now whirring and whatnot, have stopped whirring, spinning, and doing.
Recap for Amber, the player. Where are we taking these goods again?
Pacifico.
An underground station.
Yeah,
Okay.
Subfabrica.
To the
I
to
was
the
thinking
children.
Cyberpunk 2077, I think.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna stand by, and it's all you boys.
Yeah, let's see if we can't trace this back. Is there? There's probably nothing better than just a general matrix perception on this or a matrix search to kind of try to lead it back to see who's jamming it all.
Nothing is being jammed. The persons who control the device from inside the host have flipped the switch off.
I'm going to try to get it booted up again.
You are not in the host. You cannot boot it back up. There's only one of you guys that are inside the host right now. Arcole has a door in, so Arcole could leave here, go through the matrix, and go inside and assist by doing that, but that he's leaving the situation. I mean, that's a call he gets to make. Otherwise, Grouse is already in there. He could stop what he's doing, looping the cameras and go distracting the guards to go flip the switch back on. Once it comes back on, you can regain control. Of course, it's going to be another cracking roll.
Is Randy occupied right now?
I can ask him. Randy can't crack anything.
But Randy is a PMAX.
I'll call up Randy, see if he's available.
Yeah, he's available.
What you need?
Do you mind? And I'm assuming that I'm just linked through you. Do you mind possibly coming over here and helping us out with something?
Yeah, he's there.
Fantastic.
Because that's what they can do, because they're ghosts in the machine. Yeah, what you want, boy?
I need you to come somewhere with me and Gross. We need to go ahead and get inside this host. Sorry, I want to make sure I'm using all the right language, especially with Randy.
Right, keep going.
I want to make sure that we can get inside this host, and I don't know what all is in there. And we need to get this train moving.
You made a probe earlier that lasts for 6 hours, and only an hour has passed, so you still have 5 hours of that door. you don't have to try to get in the host. You just walk in. You've already opened that door for you. In fact, anyone that's in your pan that can go into AR and VR can walk right into the host.
For safety reasons and navigation reasons, Randy, would you please accompany us?
Yeah, sure. What's up?
I have an open door ready to go into this host, and we need
Talk
to get
a
this.
lot.
Randy, you just gotta go in. Follow him
I'm
in.
ready to
and then
go
we're gonna
in,
get
but
some
he
stuff.
just
Let's
keeps
go.
on. I'm just saying.
You know, you're right. Well, you just go, he'll follow.
Our Cole immediately just goes, all right, let's go ahead and get this thing moving. Let's, come on, let's get move on. And immediately just sets himself down and passes out and goes into the Matrix along with Gross and Randy.
All right. The doors open. You slide into the host. Again, the entranceway. It's the security node itself. There are 3 new personas in here. One of which is the persona of Chris, the spider hacker, whose fake Sin you guys have on the train at this point in time. He's here. And then there is another spider here who has a Hooper security icon on him. And then the last persona that's here has pretty much a black and white shirt kind of icon going, and he's probably just straight up corporate IT. Gross is still in the corner. He's still doing his thing, and they seem to be actively looking for him.
And they haven't seen either I or Randy yet, right?
No, they can't. You guys are. I'm assuming you're invisible. I'm assuming you've turned your icons off.
Yeah, just make, I
walking
didn't,
in going,
it's the mask
"We're
thing.
here!"
The mask thing. I had to make sure I said
The
something.
mask. You're wearing your mask. They're clearly not looking for you. They're clearly looking for Grouse, and that is what he's doing. He's hiding right now.
Okay. And I know it is for sure them, of course, who are keeping us from getting the train moving.
No, you don't know. This is the security node. It has nothing to do with the machinery. So you need to find where the machinery's programming is located. There you'll find the switch or the device that you can flip to turn it back on, basically.
And do I already have a map of that, or is that something that
You
Randy
do.
could help out with? Okay.
You do have a map of that. Randy, of course, can also help out with that.
Randy, you're good with routes, right?
Uh-huh.
All right. Can you figure out the best way around these folks to get us wait, no, all the way up. No, we're already in the security node.
Yep.
Or
You're in the security node.
sorry, my brain is falling out on me.
All right, what would you like to do? Do you want to go to where the mechanism's at by using your
Yes.
information? Do you want to send Randy to go there? Do you
I
want
would
to
not
both go
do
there?
that to Convoy. Both Convoy and I to the mechanism.
All right, so both you and Randy follow the information that you've already pre-laid out,
Mhm.
and you arrive 3 nodes in. Moving through a storage node, you arrive at a node filled with programs, actively running programs. Now you need to find the program in question. This is, of course, a search function, a matrix perception. Randy can provide an extra set of eyes. So, he will give you an extra dice to roll for this.
Oh, +1.
Yeah, 5 is more than enough. The 2 of you, doing a quick scour, are able to find that an agent has been set up to actively turn this machine off at its source. The agent is just a normal white ice who has the simple function of, gray ice whose simple function is to shut this down. It can combat if provoked. It's just a program. It's not an actual person behind a keyboard somewhere.
Can I edit the file, or I don't know if there's a better management system. Can I edit the file of this ice in order to remove authority from it?
Yes, you can.
Fantastic.
Right.
And that's electronics and logic.
Yep. And so the moment you try to write the program, the ice goes into defensive mode. You can do whatever you want, but when you try to attempt to alter a gray or black's ice's coding, they immediately go into Kung Fu mode. So let's get some initiative going. 4 dice. Let's see, that's a 14. It is a rating 5, so that's a 10, so it's got a 24. Remember, you are in the Matrix, you're in virtual reality, so you roll a different set of dice for initiative.
It's effectively the same for me, I believe. Matrix AR initiative is still just the 10 plus 1d6.
Your VR initiative is way higher. Where's your character sheet at?
That can't be right.
Yeah, you should be having a
say my Matrix AR is higher than that.
Well, you have a cold sim AR and a hot sim. And then the regular AR. So you're just using the regular. You haven't actually gone into cold sim or hot sim.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So if that's
so
just
right
my
now,
base...
if you are in VR right now, where your character's slumped to the ground and you've entered the Matrix, you'll be rolling with cold sim initiative.
Got it.
All right. It has a 24. The moment you activate to try to edit the file, it becomes aggressive against you. I don't need to see your character sheet. All right. It is going to use a data spike program against you. Let's get that up real quick. Find data spike. All right. Chemist Logic, 5 and 5, 10. It'll buy 3 successes in total. You defend with your data processing and firewall.
And what that is not Matrix Soak?
Versus it says data spike is cracking plus logic versus data processing firewall. You send a harmful instructions to a persona device causing matrix damage to the target. Your attack has a damage value equal to your attack rating divided by half round up, with an additional boxes of damage per net hit. This action is linked to an attack attribute.
Well, my data processing and firewall are each 8.
So that you would be rolling 16 dice.
Got it. Oh.
1.
Okay. Fair. Wait, where do I go to just type it in?
In the box, type in /ROLL, then a space, the number 16, the letter D, and the number 6, and hit enter. That did not work out the way I thought it was going to.
No, it did not. Okay, I'm just going to, 16? So
yeah.
Here's 5, 5, 5, 1.
1, 2, 3, 4 successes. It could only buy 3, so you're able to defend against the data spike that the gray ice produces. Randy's initiative is 8 plus 2d6. Let's see when he's going. Eight plus 8 is 16. So right after Arcole. All right, Arcole, the gray ice has attacked you to defend its actions, to keep you from playing around with it. It missed. How do you want to retaliate?
Send it right back. Data spike.
A data spike right back at it. All right, it has a 5 and a 5, so it'll buy a defense of 2. And you're going to roll your cracking plus logic.
And in cracking. And okay, so I do have a specialization in cyber combat.
That's what this is. 4 successes, so 2 successes. What is your attack rating at?
Attack rating 15.
Your attack rating? Yeah, I'm sorry. Your attack. Your dex attack attribute. Yeah. Your attack rating is
Okay,
monstrous.
I was about to say attack rating 15, but the direct attack attribute is 8.
8, so 8 cut in half is 4, plus the 2 extra successes, 6. The ice has taken more than half its ability, matrix boxes, and damage. Convoy, let me see if I can find his stats real quick. What would Convoy like to do?
I think.
What would Randy want to do?
I mean, Randy probably wants to. I don't think Randy is well versed in Matrix combat, but he probably knows how to get a vehicle started. So, can he sneak around the gray ice and start it?
Yes.
See if he can start that process.
Yes, he can, because the gray ice would have to actually spend an action to keep it from turning on. So there's no dice roll relating to that. It's just he does it. All right. Meanwhile, in the real world, the whole cog clicks on, power, belts, everything starts happening. Convoy, you're in the hot seat. The machine comes up. You've got to take control over it again.
Okay.
4 successes. Because it's a vehicle. Bam! 6.
There we go.
You're in control. Minor action to tell it to do something.
Keep moving it to the next...
Counterclockwise. The whole thing begins shifting. The train begins rotating counterclockwise, heading for the next large spindle wheel. As it gets to the other side, it's coming alongside to the other wheel. It clicks in to that wheel. And it's going to spin counterclockwise, this one, so you have to make another roll to make that happen. We're going to go back in. The gray ice just got damaged, so it doesn't suffer any penalties as it takes damage, but it's not going to just take this line down. And in retaliation, it is going to try and... Oh, yeah. No, it can't do that. All right, so it's just going to do another data spike. It buys its successes of total of 3, and you roll your data processing plus firewall to resist. Arcole. One, 2, 3. So
lose that edge.
Yeah, you've got edge. You've got edge. You're so far the only one who hasn't used any. All right, so the gray ice brings up another data spike. It's on the end of its fist, and it's just coming thrusting down towards you. And you grapple it by its digital arm, and you're holding it back like, this thing's going to tear my face apart. Your action, Arcole. And by the way, you two have a data spike, and so it's like you guys are dueling with energy swords or something, like your Jedi.
Would I not at this point? I was going to ask to what was it? +1 to a single dice roll for 2 edge.
No. You get to turn a 4 into a 5.
Wait, and that puts us at what I just had, 3 and 3.
Yeah, you're tied right now. The tie went to the defender.
Oh, okay. So it's already effectively succeeded.
Yeah.
Okay. At this moment, I would just like to hold the attention of this ice while Randy is getting the train moving.
Yeah. All right. So you're going to attack it on your turn, or are you just going to do nothing and keep its attention?
Let's go with a tar pit.
Okay.
Let's just throw another data spike.
Okay, go for it. It will be able to buy 2 successes, 2 hits for defense. So you need to make 3. 4 it is. So that's another 5 damage to it. You destroy the gray ice. All right. Randy, with the ice destroyed, that's going to send a signal back to the main system saying that one of the ices went offline. It won't take very long for it to turn the program off and turn it back on and the gray ice to come back out here. So you've got a few rounds in the Matrix before that happens. Do you want to do anything?
Randy can. He knows it's running, so Randy make like a stealth check and just hide?
Yeah, he can.
Gonna hide? That way he's out of the way? Can he use my... He's not technically part of my RCC. I was gonna say, can he use my stealth?
No, he's not.
Yeah, so...
He could crack the file. He has that as one of his abilities.
Okay,
and then you can encrypt it. He can then encrypt it, or he can encrypt it so when the ice shows back up, it can't turn it off because it doesn't have access.
Yeah.
All right. He has a total of 10 dice to roll for encrypting. You got 2 successes. So the gray ice is going to have to do a crack file and beat 2 successes, which means he needs 3, and the gray ice doesn't have the level to do that, so it's just going to show back up and not be able to do anything. It'll enter some sort of programming loop, and then at some point in time, it'll be like, I have been trying to do this, and I can't. It's broken. But so that buys you guys some time.
Great.
Which basically is demonstrated that Randy generates a padlock and then clips it onto the program.
Yeah, it's like old rusty padlock.
Yeah.
Or no, it's like a chain, just like chain it around and it padlocks it.
All right, Arcole and Randy, the machine is on. It has been locked. The gray ice will not be able to open it. If a spider comes along or something, they're going to pop the sucker wide open like it was held down by bubblegum. But in the meantime, you guys are in control. What do you two want to do at this point?
If it is locked and it is unable to be altered, then I would like to go ahead and drift back into AR, just to not suffer any dump shock. And
sure.
And then hopefully integrate back into my body.
Done. Randy goes ahead and checks out, peers next to you, and is like, all right, we locked it up. You're in control now.
Thanks, Randy.
All right.
Yeah.
Engineering test number 2.
Right.
You need 3 successes on this one. Bam! And you got it. The train connects to the next spindle wheel and turns counterclockwise, bringing you guys to the last spindle wheel, which will line you up. This one does not grab you by some sort of large mechanical arms. Instead, this one's going to reach out and grab you by a hook mechanism and pick you up and set you there. And as it does, as you're coming around, this huge claw reaches out and locks onto each train car and then begins lifting skyward. And as it's doing so, the red line begins extending underneath. So you see from the front of the train, just the line itself physically moves underneath like a quick stream of color. And then there's like this jarring motion as all the train gets aligned underneath and clicks on. And we're going to go to commercial.
Yes. So, while we're away on break, you can enter in to win a poster-sized rendition of the Sonic Realms movie, The Fruit of Life. Just type #RunPC in the chat to gain 1 entry, and you can gain an additional entry for every 100 bits you donate to us. And if you subscribe today, you will get 7 more entries. The winner will be announced at the end of the episode, and you'll be reached out to via Twitch Whispers. So, everyone stay tuned, join the commercials, and we'll be right back.
Can I just ask, what does a summoning tea kettle look like?
Oh, a summoning tea kettle. It is made out of cast iron that has been painted ritually with symbols in blood, obviously, that are then coated and shellacked over so that they don't flake off, that way it can last for centuries. And We use a nice clear coat though, so you can see them quite nice, quite clear. We mix in with the blood. We mix in the iridescent paint, so it gives us a nice little beautiful shimmer, especially as it heats up. And as you heat it up, that's where the magic happens, because that is when all of the symbols start to glow and get bright and beautiful. And as the tea kettle whistles, that is the summoning ritual complete.
If you have an interest in using the summoning tea kettle, or taking part in any of the other worlds in our games, you don't have to have experience. Just join our Discord, and the GMs will work with you and help you find a game you enjoy. The link is in the chat.
Ready to level up your cosplay game? Check out the Geek Forge on Etsy. With a variety of props to give your photos that extra spark, you'll find just what you need. Hold magical fire in the palm of your hand, or take a potion to restore your mana. With a large variety of colors, you can choose your own magical flavor for your cosplay. Bring drama to your photo shoots with these vibrant props and more, all available at the Geek Forge. Are you ready to level up your cosplay?
the spell like 92 times.
You get to play with us now, which is so exciting. So with channel points, bits, and subscribes, you can give rewards to the player of your choice. So how to do that is, no, not Bob. Channel points, I believe it is 500 points, gets you NERPs, which is +3 to any dice roll to the player of your choice. For 1,000 channel points, you can do a point of edge to any player. And for 2,500 channel points, you can do 4 edge to the player of your choice. Now for bits, for 100 bits, that's $1, you can do the NERPs. For 200 bits, that's $2, you can do the point of edge. Or for 500 bits, that's $5, get 4 edge to give to the player of your choice. And finally, again, the subs, if you subscribe, you can give 4 edge to any player.
Hi everyone, welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned. Thanks for enjoying those commercials. Just before we finish up for the night, I just want to announce our winner for the poster-sized rendition of the Sonic Realms movie, The Fruit of Life. It's Faradon. So congratulations, and thank you everyone for participating tonight. Faradon, we'll reach out to you in Twitch Whispers. Thank you.
Are we good? Is this it?
You're
Are we live again? Woo! Congratulations, Faradon.
I'm so mad at the boys right now.
The train connects to the red line. It's jarring for just a moment, and there's a series of, like, clicks, clacks, and when they're happening, you can feel the train just kind of like shaking back and forth just a little bit before it slowly becomes more rhythmic and it dissipates. A variety of icons begin lighting up across the AR. showing speed, how much battery life has, a variety of other commands and whatnot. And a series of icons appear that you don't recognize right off the bat and didn't realize what it could possibly be until you stared at it for a minute. And Randy's standing right next to you, staring at it too. And he's like, "What the heck is that? It's like a campfire, but on the side. The hell kind of icon is a campfire for a train?"
Would Arcole know this?
We mentioned it earlier in our chat about what's being put on the train. Don't remember?
There's
Hocus, Rocket Explodus.
The icon is for apparently some sort of speed enhancing rockets that have been attached to the train to make it be able to make those elevated twists and turns, because unfortunately, although Shadowrun still is in the real world, it applies to the world of physics, and unfortunately for those twists and turns that I, the game master, has kind of put in the way, you need something more boosty like rockets. I'm going to say at this point in time, Steel Tiger has been at the back of the train since unfortunately we've lost him this evening. He's been at the back of the train opening things up and doing whatnot and kind of giving inventory as you guys are at the front. So the trains begin moving. You've looked across the icons. You definitely see how to control it, how to activate the rockets, and so on and so on and so forth. Right now, like, there's a thrust button for the rockets. It's red out because it's like not at the safe speed for the use of it. And then there is a higher speed like engine that kicks in. It is also redded out. So right now it's kind of like impulse engines are running, getting you up the speed, the lower end of the speed or the high end of the low speed. Yeah.
It's your low gears.
You're in the low gears. That's a good analogy. Do you guys want to do anything on this first round of the train beginning to move?
I would like to, if I can, use, now that I'm finally in, I would like to look around using the train's cameras to see if we have anything on the outside that's going to be coming near us very soon.
No.
Great.
No, right off the bat, without a dice roll, there's nothing around you. You're heading out of the train yard. You've already passed by the fence. Grouse can come out, and leave all that stuff behind if he needs to. You are on the train rails and moving at about 60 kilometers an hour already.
Does this train have any weapons installed on it?
No.
It's worth a shot.
Yeah, it does have
you're
rockets.
Right. It's a good question.
It kind of is a weapon.
And then Steel Tiger responds, "Yeah, rockets, I know." As he comes carrying in a very large metal tube and some sort of briefcase. He sets the briefcase down, pops it open, and it has party implements inside of it that go inside the tube. And he's like, "Rockets! The train's got rockets!" He looks at you and says, "There's a cargo container of weapons back there, and I found all the food."
Amazing.
Fantastic. Somebody's not getting a happy birthday, but it's worth it in the end.
All right. With the mention of birthday, the woman once again reappears in the cab of the train. Okay, so good on you. Congratulations. You stole my train. But you're not going to get far. So I want you to know that I've already contacted the police. They're on the way. They will catch you. Don't do this. Please? I'm asking nicely.
We'll see you in Emerald City.
I don't believe you this time. She shakes a finger. A voice, which is within range for her comm unit, sits there and goes, I've got a positive identification on his eyes. Yeah? And she turns and says, oh, so you're the one who took my specialist. And she turns to face Convoy. Your eyes match up with the eyes from that drone that we've caught wandering around Hooper. So is it me? Did you just have something against me? Stealing from me twice? No? What's fine. I can get him back. I can find another one, or I can start his project over. Anyways, I asked nicely. You didn't respond, so I'm not going to play nice anymore. And she turns and looks whoever's sitting next to her. Send in the drones. Send them all in. Just send all of them in. And now you're detecting inbound icons heading toward the train. In 3 rounds after the train leaves, and we're counting 1 round has actually passed, the train will be up to speed to where it can engage its secondary engine and start going even faster. 3 rounds after that, it'll be able to engage its boosters. So roughly in about 18 seconds, you can hit the rocket button and go stupid fast. I mean, it's probably not going to be fun, but you do what you want to do. This is the game master telling you that's not her. She's angrily yelling, send in the drones, send in the drones. And there are flying icons heading in you guys' direction. So,
Roll initiative?
yeah. Next time.
Fair, fair.
Yep. Next time we get together, you guys are going to be on a high-speed train. It's a total of 6 rounds. Well, 5 rounds, actually. 5 rounds fighting drones and trying to get up to speed and keeping the train under your control because they're going to try to take it away. Yeah. It's going to be fun.
Excited.
Yeah. So at the beginning, earlier today, I told my players that we wanted to practice more of the edge stuff. And for every time, if they practiced either an edge boost or an edge action, they would get karma that went to everyone. And all the players used edge boost. Only one of the players used edge action. So that's a total of 5 karma right there. Woo! I also said if I figured out a way to squeeze in an edge boost, I would also reward them with an NPC. So it didn't work out to my favor, but whatever. It's I've got to practice that. It's definitely a different mechanism. So I'm going to craft an NPC for you guys that will be a post effect of this. I normally award anywhere between 3 to 5 karma. You guys are at a halfway point, so I'm going to award 4 karma for tonight's game session. The banter was hilarious. I love it. So that's a +1 there. The jokes, the mimicking Randy, that was hilarious. And so you guys all brought a lot of really good fun play to it. So that's an extra 3 on top of the 4, making it 7. But because of the contest, brings the total up for tonight's game to 12 karma.
Wow.
Nice.
You did good, guys.
I'm very impressed. I think that we've got the system figured out. I'm very happy with it. And I definitely had a blast tonight. The whole trivia thing was awesome.
Yeah, it was really great.
Thank you. We're bringing back Novavax. They're going to be bigger and better than ever.
So was it true about the King George?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it would be more impressive if she made it up.
Right.
I mean, in all honesty, technically that's ancient history compared to the game, so you guys would never even be able to know. Which, by the way, if you ever decide, like, I'm just going to take these guys to a library, please let me know ahead of time so I can write up the necessary description to tell everyone else what a library looks like now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. Chat, thanks for hanging out. Let's do our pitches, people. Christian?
Yeah. If you want to play some TTRPGs, but don't want to have to go through the work of being a game master, go to roughmagicgames.com. Book one of our professional game masters. That's me. That's it.
Amazing.
That's my pitch.
Yes. Yes. All right. One of you two. Somebody say something.
Ember.
Tyler.
Oh, yeah, fun. Come check out Shadowrun Takedown on Kickstarter on August 3rd. We've already been running some playtests of it, and it is incredibly fun and easy to pick up. It has been an absolute blast, and see you at Gen Con if you're there.
Bert?
Okay, I guess I do have to say something then. Well, during this time of the writer's strike and actor's strike, I have picked up the pen, the digital pen. So you might see two images, this way and that way, of Chris's Steel Tiger and Rachel's Rhea. So yeah, you guys are gonna see some artwork that I've done for our characters.
Are you pitching yourself out there as a potential artist to pick up some extra work?
Now that's a thought. You can DM me on my Instagram. It's at Amber. Amber. What's my handle? You know what? We'll figure it out and we'll post about it next time.
It'll be up next round.
All right, and last but not least, I am one of those pro GMs that hang out with Rough Magic. So if you like what I'm doing here tonight and you want me to run a game for you, yeah, come on over, check it out. Do we have a link for Rough Magic? Can we get it into the... Yeah, let's do that real quick. I got that. I got it. I can do this. Sharing a link is a skill I learned.
Max, only slightly more prepared than me.
Hey, I started writing the intro 10 minutes before we got here.
Don't tell people that. They would never know.
No, that's fine. I like people seeing that I'm an inept individual than watching me be all wow and whatnot. They're like, wow, he's amazing for being so inept. I'm just glad I put my shoes on the right feet sometime. But yeah, come over, see us at Rough Magic, and let us run a game for you. Also, Pure Alchemy Soaps is really awesome. That's my wife's business. I pitch it. I should pitch that too, because like she's looking at me right now. She's laughing at me. Don't laugh at me.
You can find those soaps on Etsy.
Totally laugh.
And if I can remember the shop name, or maybe
Pure Alchemy Soap.
There it is. Thank you.
So, Pure Alchemy Soap, we go to a number of the conventions here on the East Coast, as well as up and down in Florida and stuff like that. She'll be in Shreveport next month. So if you're in the Shreveport area, swing by, check her stuff out. She's got this really cool gelatinous cube candle. It's got bones in it.
It's really cool.
Like that's my sell to people. We were at the last convention and I was just like, yeah, this is a cool candle. Let me tell you all the sciencey stuff about it. And people would be like, wow. And then I'd be like, and you see that? That's a real animal bone. They'd be like, I need it. I don't know why.
I need it.
But they were like, that came, one lady was just like, I need two. I was like, just don't leave it in your car because it's a candle. If it didn't melt when it get really hot, it wouldn't be a candle. They call that a brick. Nobody wants to burn a brick. All right, well, we've pitched everything we could possibly pitch, so let's do our closing moments. Awkward
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Make sure you always get your candles bone in.
Bone in.